how would you sell 1,000 books in 21 days? What are your priorities? What's most important to be focusing on? What do you filter out and just throw to the side because it just doesn't work?
Okay, so there are a bunch of things that I recommend testing because I guess there's nothing that really works for everybody and every book subject and everything. So I guess one thing that's important is that, so you're looking at those 21 days, but you want to start doing these things probably a month before that to set yourself up and have a lot of things in place. And so one thing is you have to do some research and find the people who are reviewers for whatever that topic is that you're getting into. So it's good to go to Amazon to see, just figure out what your category is going to be and who your competitors are in that category, and you can see who the most popular reviewers are and try to solicit those people as reviewers in advance. So you're probably going to want to need like a month in advance to try to start reaching out to these people and get copies in their hands. And so you want to deal with these top reviewers on Amazon as well as just any personal connections you have that are relevant, that have a blog or newsletter, or people that just will review on Amazon as well. And I think a great way to get things in place too is to create a site for your book, either for you as an author or for the book itself. And that way you have sort of a home base where if you want to get people to give them the option to request a review copy or anything, they have a place to go instead of just making it like send me an email and make it sort of clumsy. Nice to just put a form in place where you can just have it all nice and easy for them, make it as easy as possible for people to interact with your book and to get a hold of it. And also it's a great place to get opt-ins for email so you can try to market the book when it does drop. And one thing also is to try to find some people who are relevant, that have some popular blogs that are for whatever that topic is, and maybe one or two or three of those people, give them some advanced excerpts so they can feature and just get them to hype it up at the fact that it's an exclusive, sort of like how like Rolling Stone or Time Magazine might get an excerpt of a book, like give those exclusives to these sites so they can, because then they get credibility with their audience and you get to reach that audience and give them a little bit of teaser that they'll hopefully be into and they'll want to get the book itself. And then one thing that I've done that's really panned out well for me is to just offer review copies to anybody that's on my list, so they don't necessarily have to be a top Amazon reviewer or have a great like a newsletter or anything. Just anybody who's willing to review it on, say, on Goodreads or Amazon or Barnes & Noble or what have you. I just try to get as many people, just average Joes, to read it and review it instead of just gunning for, because the one thing with going for the big players that are big reviewers on Amazon is a lot of them are sort of snooty about it and they don't want to deal with unsolicited books. So it's, especially if you're just getting into it as a first-time author, you're better off just trying to find people who are actually anxious to get that free book and read it. So I think that's a lot more beneficial. And then also just go out there and just volunteer yourself for interviews. Just maybe be a little bit pushy. Find those people that do have the blogs and newsletters and podcasts, and just avail yourself and say, I'd love to come on your show. And in the past, for years and years, I did podcasts, and I was always scrounging for content. So I'm sure that's the case for a lot of people that, any with a blog or a podcast or whatever, they're always looking for content. So if you go there and present yourself and you make yourself available and you're willing to talk about this subject, then usually a lot of people can welcome you and they're happy to have you. So it's a win-win for the two of you.